Deep winter in Yellowstone presents a brutal test of endurance, but the freezing temperatures aren't the only threat today. A bison's hearing is highly tuned to the subtle crunch of compressed snow, an early warning system against unseen predators. Emerging from the timber is a 900-lb Grizzly, carefully calculating the energy cost of a midwinter hunt. Rather than a direct assault, the bear uses the rocky terrain to mask its massive silhouette, attempting to gain a tactical angle. A grizzly's shoulder hump is pure muscle, biomechanically designed for explosive digging and devastating downward strikes. The bear begins to circle, relying on intimidation to force the bison to turn and expose its weaker hindquarters. To avoid wasting precious energy, the grizzly slows his pace, calculating the exact moment of commitment. The bison's entire skeletal structure is optimized for rotational speed, allowing him to keep his biological shield engaged against the flanking route. To maximize stabilization, the bison lowers his massive center of gravity, planting his front legs like reinforced pillars against the pending impact. When a predator locks on, peripheral vision narrows, concentrating focus entirely on identifying any microscopic opening in the defense. The terrain itself presents an unstable challenge, demanding constant adjustments to stability and balance. This coiled posture is the final biological signal before a high-kinetic burst. A grizzly rarely commits fully to a frontal attack. This bluff charge is a powerful test, designed to trigger the fatal flight response. The standoff reaches a critical juncture. For the grizzly, this is tactical assessment. He needs the bison to turn and flee. The standoff shatters. Now a violent collision of raw mass as the battle moves into its most critical stage. The giants take a necessary biological reset. For a moment, the battlefield goes quiet, but both animals know the confrontation has quickly escalated beyond control. The grizzly understands the bison's limited turning radius. He attempts a high-speed flank, seeking a vulnerable angle away from those deadly horns. When a bluff is called, strategy dissolves into direct kinetic force. The bear relies on speed and lethal claws, the bison on raw, crushing momentum. A crucial biological decision. The grizzly realizes the caloric cost of killing an alert adult bull outweighs any potential energy reward. The grizzly cedes the clearing, returning to the dense lodgepole pines wall, where camouflage favor the ambush predator. In close quarters, the bear's 4-inch claws are designed to hook and tear flesh, but they must bypass the bison's reinforced skull, a bone shield evolved specifically for these brutal impacts. A grizzly is incredibly dangerous even on its back. Using all 4 limbs, it turns its underside into a blender of claws, fending off the lethal stomps of the bison. A critical mistake by the predator. The bison secures leverage under the shoulder joint. One violent thrust now could puncture the lung or sever an artery, When the grapple fails, the grizzly defaults to evasion. The bison, now dominant, utilizes its powerful hindquarters to transition from a static defense into an aggressive chase, capitalizing on its opponent's energy depletion. The bear secures the flank but misses the vital neck hold. The bison torques its immense torso to counter with its horns, turning the grapple into a grinding test of stamina and raw will. The bison leverages its sheer momentum, evading the strike and turning the bear's own force against it. A perfectly timed pivot sends the apex predator crashing to the frozen earth. A moment's hesitation shifts the balance. Refusing to let the grizzly regroup, the bison seizes the offensive, using its superior momentum to dictate the terms of engagement. Even suspended, the grizzly remains lethal. It twists to score a defensive strike, forcing the bison to violently toss the predator rather than maintaining the impalement. A 900-pound animal hitting compacted, frozen mud suffers immense concussive force. The impact stuns the bear, knocking the wind from its lungs just as the 2,000-pound victor moves in for the final crush. Survival overrides hunger. Recognizing that another assault would result in fatal injury, the apex predator concedes defeat. In the brutal mathematics of the wild, a meal is never worth a life. The predator faces a deadly choice. Is the catch worth a crippling injury? The bison does not need to attack, it only needs to hold its ground. By maintaining a fortified stance and presenting its most lethal weapons, it forces the predator to make the first, and potentially final, mistake. Survival beats hunger. The bison's defense holds, and the exhausted predator finally backs down. The harsh elements of Yellowstone are an ever-present adversary. As the adrenaline fades, the cold reality of winter reasserts itself, demanding a constant, grueling effort to survive. Daylight fades. The freeze returns. Now, the survivors face a new battle, surviving the night. In this unforgiving landscape, victory is only a temporary reprieve. Tomorrow, the relentless cycle of predator and prey will begin anew.